Welcome back to the Hammer Down Show on 1017 The Hammer, the 1017 The Hammer app. I'm Jared Jesselaitis, and on the phone lines with me, Kyle Holderfield, head coach of the Harrison Raiders. These guys coming off a thrilling victory against West Lafayette, 43-40, game that you heard on K105 with myself and Jeff Julik. An instant classic. Coach, welcome back here. A win is a win, but holy smokes. That was quite the fourth quarter. It was quite the second quarter, too. But, I mean, the fourth quarter on top of that, the way that thing was played, just, I mean, your immediate reactions after that victory last week from West Lafayette.
Yeah, it was, I think, a game that had just north of 900 total yards of offense. Obviously, it was a really thrilling game. Like you said, the second and fourth quarter kind of turned into shootouts where the first and third quarters were like possession ball games. It was kind of strange. We knew going into the game that West Lafayette, like I said last week, Coach Fry is a Hall of Fame football coach, and I have nothing but respect for him. And we knew that their offense was experienced, multiple 2, 3, even I think Kojo's like a 4-year starter for them. And we knew that they were going to be able to score some points when they got things going. But we were just lucky enough to score, obviously, a few more points than them.
And, I mean, look, I don't like to giving up 40 points and all those big plays. Usually you'd be a little bit upset with your defense, and I'm sure you are in some areas there. But when they come up with that safety after the Zion Clopton fumble there at the 1-yard line, I mean, absolute game changer for you guys at that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, we are upset with some of the big plays that we gave up there in the fourth quarter. But they made a couple of stops late in that game that obviously that truly won us the game. Like you said, the fumble on the safety. That call on the sideline, whether he caught it or not, that's been debated all week on social media or whatnot. But they made stops when they had to make stops late. And so they did a good job of, just staying in the game, because a lot of times defenses that can happen and they just kind of fall apart and they stop competing. And, we were happy to see that those guys, closed that game for us.
Not to mention that final play of the half there too, where Westside goes for it and you guys are able to keep them out. Yeah,
that was another one that I brought up to the defense the next day. Sometimes it's going to be like that. Sometimes you're going to give up points. And, like I said, Coach Fry has a really experienced offense, and he's been running his same offense through his middle school and his JV teams and his varsity. This is, I think, 14th or 15th season. So those guys know what they're doing. And it was just a matter of time before they started to execute. That first quarter was a little bit of an outlier for them, I think, when they didn't score on 3 possessions. So we knew that points were coming. And I was proud of our offense, which has 8 new starters on the offense for being able to keep pace.
Let's talk a little bit about your quarterback there too. When we start talking about these new starters, evaluate young Mr. Ade's play and how you felt about what he was able to do on Friday night.
Yeah, first varsity start, 354 total yards, 3 touchdowns. There's nothing to be upset about that. We got on him a little bit. I think he graded as like a 73% for the game, which people are like, oh my gosh, how hard do you guys grade? Well, he didn't do some little things, carrying out fakes and things like that after the handoff or booting away. But he had a fantastic first game. He kind of set the stage for his ability, and I think he has a natural arm talent. He has a great pocket presence, escaping and finding wiggle room, and he did a great job.
And didn't turn the ball over. That was the other 2 things that really stood out for me, for you guys, was we weren't really turning the ball over. And then on top of that, how many times have you gone into a week 1 in your history of coaching and come away with, you may have had 1 penalty, maybe 2 max the entire game. That doesn't normally happen week 1 in high school football, does it?
Yeah, we had an illegal formation and then a holding penalty on the same senior wide receiver. And we spoke a little bit on the sideline about not making mistakes. I always say to them, stupid gets you beat, and those things are preventable. So, we try to stay as disciplined as possible. But relatively, it was a pretty clean game for us, like you said, penalty-wise, and we were really happy coming out of week 1. I think we had maybe 4 total penalties. And that's not the case for everybody in the state. So we were really proud about that.
Hey, we're back at home this week. The Quakers are coming up, Tyler Bless and company. I like how this has kind of turned into a little, say like a rivalry, but since you guys were in that sectional together, you've gotten some good looks at each other over the years, and a real quality opponent in Plainfield. Tell me a little bit about them, what you're seeing on tape this year, and what you guys need to prepare for.
Yeah, typical Plainfield team, big, strong, want to run the football. very aggressive on defense. They blitz about 66% of the time. They moved from a 3-4 to a 4-2 this year, so it was nice to see West Lafayette's 4-2 last week, so we get the same front and similar coverage back-to-back weeks. They're really well coached. Tyler's one of the best. You know, he's one of the best guys, one of the best coaches in the state. He comes from a coaching family with his dad, and he knows what he's doing. They want to run the ball. They'll get into a tight end set with a wing, and they'll pound the ball. But their running back that absolutely wrecked us for 3 seasons in a row, Luke Starnes, had finally graduated, so there's some new faces there. So we're hopeful. You know, we think we got to stop the run there, score some points, but it'll be another good game. You know, last year across our 3 contests, varsity, JV, and freshman, it was 1-1-1, and it was 70 points scored and 70 points allowed. So we know that it's going to be a close one as always, and we know it's going to be a physical game.
Tremendous test. If you're heading out to A.J. Rickard this Friday night, give yourself a little bit of time with all the construction they still got going out there. Just a PSA there. Coach Kyle Holderfield of the Harrison Raiders. Again, they'll take on Plainfield on Friday night at home. That's a 7 o'clock start. Coach, best of luck. I hope we're talking next week about 2-0.
Me too. Appreciate you, Jared. Thank you.